With the January transfer window fast approaching, who exactly do Arsenal want to sign? Well, let's find out what update Fabrizio Romano has given today in an exclusive interview. Also, what price tag if Arsenal set on Nicolas Pepe, and which Arsenal player has admitted he may want to return to the Bundesliga. As per, let's find out in the latest Arsenal news today. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14, 2 uploads now in 2 days. The consistency is slowly returning. It is things you love to see. But as per, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, and also do subscribe to your boys channel if you guys are new. But let's get into the Arsenal news today, and let's start off with Fabrizio Romano's latest Arsenal update. That is right, Mr. Here We Go was on the Arsenal Lounge, where he's given an exclusive interview on all the latest potential Arsenal transfer news. And starting off with an update on Raheem Sterling of Man City and his potential move to Arsenal Football Club. Fabrizio says it's true, this is a player that Arsenal would love to have. Mikel Arteta is in love with this player and convinced he'd be perfect for Arsenal. But again, it's about European football. A player like Raheem Sterling wants to play top level European football. So Fabrizio Romano has confirmed there and there Arsenal do hold interest in Raheem Sterling. In fact, Mikel Arteta is a massive admirer of the player and thinks he's perfect for Arsenal Football Club. But also, as it says there, importantly, Champions League football, top level European football, Arsenal require that. If they want to sign a player the caliber of Raheem Sterling and also other players of his caliber, we have to be in the European top league. That is a Champions League. That is a must for Arsenal Football Club. Fabrizio also goes on to say that Man City want more than £50 million. It's not going to be easy, but I think they have chances to sign him. £50 million for Sterling, for me, in my eyes at least, is a reasonable price tag. But most importantly there, my friend Fabrizio, have you kind of confirmed to us the chance is there, the possibility is there? Are you giving us hope? Because I have seen quite a few comments of rival fans and Arsenal fans alike saying, would Sterling want to come to Arsenal? But the fact that he's already worked with Mikel Arteta, the fact that Arsenal have this long-term project, and if Arsenal were to get Champions League football, only after that, for me, Raheem Sterling becomes a really realistic Arsenal transfer target. But now that you've heard Fabrizio's side, what do you guys make of Raheem Sterling? And is he a player that you guys want to see Arsenal sign for a price tag of plus £50 million? Moving on, what has Fabrizio said about Renato Sanches? He says the player knows about Arsenal's interest. He was on Arsenal's list in the summer alongside Dusan Vlahovic. They, as an Arsenal, think he can be a player for the Arsenal project. And the fact that the player is aware of Arsenal's interest kind of makes sense now, because of course he was speaking about Arsenal yesterday in his exclusive interview with L'Equipe. Fabrizio says, I can confirm he is still on Arsenal's list, but at the moment no negotiations with Lille. AC Milan and Arsenal are following him, and he, as in Renato Sanches, knows about it. So alongside Arsenal Football Club, you also have AC Milan trying to sign this player. Now in terms of your boy, as I spoke about in yesterday's video, I do rate Renato Sanches, and I think when he's fit and when he's available, he can be a top player. But once again, for me, that fitness is a massive worry, in the fact that he's had these recurring injuries throughout his career. It's just something for me that I just can't look past, because I want a more reliable player for Arsenal to have. So Fabrizio has confirmed Arsenal's interest and confirmed that the player is aware of the interest, but what about the selling club in Lille, and what price tag have they set on the player? Well, Fabrizio says, from what I am told, Lille want 40 to 45 million euros. They want serious money for him. Let's see if Arsenal can negotiate with a different formula, maybe a loan with the buy obligation. 40 to 45 million pounds, which is around 35 million pounds, which, you know what, again, is a great player, but for the injury prone record he has, again, for me, that is really off-putting. But as per, my friends, let me know for that sort of price tag, is Renato Sanches a player that you guys want to see Arsenal Football Club sign? Fabrizio Romano on Dusan Vlahovic. He has confirmed that Arsenal have a strong interest in his player. They feel he could be perfect for the Premier League and be the long-term Arsenal striker. And he also goes on to say that Arsenal contacted Fiorentina to ask them, how much do you want to sell Vlahovic in January? Fiorentina said they want 70 million euros. So Arsenal do have confirmed strong interest, and the fact that they've also spoken to Fiorentina says to me they want to make this move happen. But at the same time, for a price tag of 70 million euros, once again, need I remind you, this player is out of contract at the end of next season. I don't know, man, it just seems like a really high price tag. But yes, Arsenal do like Dusan Vlahovic, but is that interest reciprocated? Well, as Fabrizio says, from the player side, I am told the agents of the player will not answer Arsenal and they have no interest. The feeling in Fiorentina is that the player already has an agreement with another top club. And it's not just Arsenal. Last summer, Tottenham and Atletico Madrid made approaches for him, but he was not 100% convinced on those moves. Let me just make this clear. If our gargantuan institution comes knocking on your door and you don't want to answer, forget about that transfer, big man. And it's not just Arsenal and Tottenham. Even Atletico Madrid, these guys are a Champions League team and they also won the last La Liga. So I'm not sure what's happening behind the scenes with Dusan Vlahovic, but if his agent is being like this, then for me, my friends, this is a dead transfer and it's simply not going to happen. But talking about strikers, what type of striker do Arsenal want to sign? Fabrizio has confirmed that Arsenal are looking for a technical striker, something different and modern. They are looking at many strikers. In particular, they want a player who is 100% convinced of the Arsenal project. They want a player happy to be the new Arsenal number 9. In terms of this same interview, Fabrizio has confirmed on many occasions that Arsenal's priority is going to be a new striker. But most importantly, what I love to see there is the fact that Arsenal want to sign players that only want to play for Arsenal in the first place. Make no mistake, the likes of Vlahovic is a player, if Arsenal were to offer an obscene contract, he would probably accept. But I don't want to see Arsenal sign players on a simple basis of money. I want players that come to our club that are convinced about our project and most importantly want to play for our gargantuan institution. But talking about centre forwards, if Vlahovic's people don't want to answer the calls, let me know, my friends, down below in the comments, what other strikers do you guys want to see Arsenal target? Okay, then moving on to the future of Nicolas Pepe. Now, of course, in your boy's last video, I discussed the possibility of Nicolas Pepe going to AC Milan. But today, Mr. Here We Go has been speaking on the player, and let's see what he said about his Arsenal future. Fabrizio says, I expect in summer 2022, Arsenal will look for opportunities for Nicolas Pepe, but they will not sell the player for 20 to 25 million euros. They want an important proposal. So Fabrizio has confirmed that Arsenal might indeed look to sell Pepe, but the price tag is going to be higher than 25 million euros, which on Arsenal side I do understand, because of course Arsenal spent 72 million pounds on this player in the first place. But then again, ask yourselves the question, which team is going to pay that sort of money for a player who is out of favour of Arsenal Football Club? And in terms of Arsenal, even in the last window, they have a history of setting high price tags for their players. The likes of Hector Bellerin and also Granit Xhaka were both players that couldn't secure permanent moves away because in the eyes of the market, Arsenal set too high of a price tag. But let's just say you right now watching the video were the Arsenal technical director, what price tag would you set on the Ivorian international Nicolas Pepe? Fabrizio has also given an update on the future of Arsenal Lacazette. He says the idea in the summer was to open talks about a 1-year contract extension to protect the player's value and not lose him as a free agent. But my feeling is that Arsenal will sign a new striker and Lacazette will be able to pick his next club as a free agent. So Mr. Romano confirming there and there that Arsenal had offered an initial 1-year contract extension, but since then talks have simply not progressed. And so the fact that Edu Gaspar and Mikel Arteta desperately want to sign a brand new long-term centre forward, and the fact that Lacazette has made it clear that he wants a brand new long-term contract, as Fabrizio says there, and even just logically, I think Lacazette is going to leave Arsenal on a free transfer. Keeping it on the outgoings, what about the future of Pablo Mari? Well, a reporter out of Brazilian club Flamengo has said, I talked to an important person at the club who told me the following. Gustavo, how can I say that Flamengo don't want Pablo Mari's return? It is evident that Flamengo wants to, but there are many details that need to be fixed for him to return. Now, of course, in terms of after they signed Pablo Mari out of Flamengo in the first place, and during his time at Flamengo, Pablo Mari was a really popular figure in the fans and ultimately a really important player. And so the fact that Pablo Mari is no longer a starter at Arsenal Football Club, he's now around 28 years of age, in his peak years, I think he wants to play consistent 30 minutes. But also in terms of the player's Arsenal contract, it is a long-term deal. And so if Flamengo want to sign his player, Arsenal are going to require some sort of transfer fee. And in terms of Brazilian clubs in general, unfortunately these guys don't have the sort of money to be paying any sort of decent transfer fees. But talk to me, my friends, about the transfer value of Pablo Mari. And if it came down to you guys, what price tag would you set on the player? Okay then lads, let's move on to the other Arsenal news today. And starting off with Arsenal midfielder Granit Xhaka, who has been speaking to the media in Germany and has given a few little interesting quotes. As Xhaka on the possible return to Borussia Mönchengladbach, he says, I've just renewed my Arsenal contract, which will continue for 2.5 years. By then I'll be 32, and if Max Eberl is ready to take me back at 32, my door will be open too. Now in terms of some Arsenal fans, they have taken these quotes and said, oh my god, how dare he say that he wants to leave Arsenal already. But in terms of myself, he clearly states there, I've just renewed my Arsenal contract. So he's not saying that he wants to leave Arsenal in the short term, but once his contract expires, of course he's open to returning to the club he used to play for prior to Arsenal. But as per, my friends, let me know your own thoughts on these quotes from Mr. Mr. Granit Xhaka, Swiss international, the vicest ever, always causing controversy. Here is a graphic from The Athletic of proportion of teams' touches in the half spaces in the Premier League this season, and as you guys can see, Arsenal rank behind only Liverpool and Man City. Now yes, that is a very good graphic, but what exactly does it mean? Essentially, it kind of shows how successful Arsenal when it comes to getting into the final third and ultimately entering the half spaces. And it kind of also once again confirms that Arsenal don't have an issue when it comes to getting the ball into the final third, but more when it comes down to the personnel and the final action. Our current players seem to always mess up, whether it's Saka or Smith or Aubameyang or Pepe, whoever. These players just aren't consistent enough. But what do you guys think is the solution of Arsenal's lack of creativity when it comes to making the big chances? Is it more of an issue on the personnel, or is it more down to the manager? Chris Wheatley has confirmed that Mika Biref is set for more opportunities to train with the Arsenal first team this season. Not only is he being prepared for a loan move next season, but he was also recently capped by the Denmark under-21s and highly rated at the club. Now of course, Biref is a player that Arsenal signed back in the summer from the academy of Fulham, and since coming into the Arsenal academy, this guy has done pretty well. In terms of position, Biref is a centre forward, and as you guys are aware, in that position Arsenal already have Aubameyang, Lacazette, Nketiah, Balogun. Ultimately that is going to lead to a lack of opportunity, so I can understand why Arsenal are looking to loan him. But keeping it on the Arsenal academy, the under-23s are top of the Premier League 2 after another late following Balogun winner against Blackburn. The Arsenal academy is back on fire, of course, in terms of last year, in terms of the last manager under Steve Bold. If you guys aren't aware, the Arsenal academy was actually fighting relegation, but in terms of this year, we have witnessed a remontada, and Hale is back on fire. And so it's not just the likes of Mika Biref also following Balogun, but even the likes of Omari Hutchinson and Charlie Patino. Trying my best not to sound like Josh Kroenke, my friends, in terms of the Arsenal youngsters coming through once again. All I'm gonna say is be excited. But that is the video there, my friends. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, and also do subscribe to your boy's channel if you guys are new. If you would like to follow your boy on them social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was the latest Arsenal news today. An update from Fabrizio Romano on Raheem Sterling, Renato Sanches, Dusan Vlahovic. Thanks as always, my friends, and I will see you later in a bit.